Mbacho why be huru no china bi kra na ebo ohire enti ye de won twen ye mu kra na emum senhyehyɛ ye omo ka so omo de ba o se Wellington boot obi benya bi abobo ye obi benya bi na eno na atɔ Ghana for akoma so na eno na omo so omo pa let them execute so mbe continue your agenda 111 free SHS. The marking scheme will start on 7 January 2025. It is a marking scheme necessary obi ye nkoda so who say we your recovery rate near fast me free Saturday and ajona embo na kura na me mahuni e kona bibia mama koma to me yem enti we are ready to be a formidable opposition party and I make us anya me metena ho ansa na e ba ba mu enyama de foforo enti by the grace of God I believe say nyankopon be hye ne ho anyonyam o Ghana ndi ye me nka say just because of opposition enti you are wishing anybody bad na mo mabo mu na be kire o mado ana anya sa enti no we are willing and ready so whatever the people of Ghana have decided, just as President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia promises say the least they can do for Ghanaians is to allow us have a free, fair and peaceful election. I commend the President and Vice President said that has been delivered. Bijidiso obi any baby Obeka say Abanwe has not delivered that. It has been delivered and it has enhanced the image of Ghana around the world. In fact, about to my interview with Al Jazeera, with BBC, Voice of America, any Radio France International, people are so shocked. Even other African countries are and former commentary on social media. Obisi Ghana voting day was in the country. As I hear in Koso, people were just going about as if nothing is happening. Ebi ano momo ekromi enye den enye sanete. Ye we bronya ebechi soloku ya bom. Uko social media NPP for NDC for nyina soloku ni ya sha say ayetwi bom. Enti me I am ready to look at the 2028 battle ahead and prepare and psych myself and help the new patriotic party to mobilize. Nagana for who say we are a formidable group. When the NDC fails, I will catch them from the sky. Enti kakra meet me aka e dey asoso no.
Mate me dey say o party for 80 no.
Atesa. Ti me mo nyina mo ebo mabaso obi biara okoto obi bi oye adwuma. It is not a joke. Obi nya 0.2%, obi nya 0.8%. Even if it's 41%, yesom. Even say more yakra na yesom yezebe man en mo adure enyu. Ananya sa. Ya many to ye yem sa about time. Nti enye hu kra. Nti me show mun crying. Say we will regroup, we will reorganize, and we will defend the exit track record of President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It is nyame adum na dru 7 January. E ho ne be pick exchange rate of that date. The GDP growth of 2024 cumulatively together. So in third quarter GDP 7.2%. We will put out all the projected growth rate by all the international communities of where they expect Ghana to grow in 2025, 2026 as we exit the IMF program. And here the better abontain one who say PC peg and sheshe no e hani ye expect to see ebeko when do anye ne ebeka Ghana for ankasa and the betche krata na bia betchre useni. And here ho na me di base na it's a transition.
Martin transition common so ne I think virtually the CNRA inauguration of the team or starting meeting and the issue and a person will address it and some fellows quacho for so at the two just say in common cost on about upset more last minute recruitment be a payment be ma third party contractors be you have to brief the transition team na munya omunyina concern na na motu sana mono and our issues with that
yo obi edin kind let me put it on record so until area many Bema Felix na we are not members of the transition committee. A statutory committee. And in Rechia, Omukochia, Enra, Enshemu, Monegana, Mampenyi, Koye, any moving to a conference center in Nayadi and Kamun. The committee in Kunyano. And almost say, Beya, Bibia, Bekoso, no one, no communication, any Bibia, Ebekoya, Kwasum Dreamono. Each side should appoint a spokesperson. spokesperson. Until the NDC appointed Felix Kwachi-Ofosu and the new Patriotic Party and now outgoing government, President Akufo-Addo led government, appointed me. And the instruction was simple. I say, we should confer. We should confer. Say the assembly beto abontia, it should be joint. Say yesi akwakoto abano asumdwemu na ye try enya say bibi akoso bia ye obi ade. But look at how graceful the leaders have been, the way His Excellency Dr. Bawumia did his concession speech, the commitment shown by the government. Say you have nothing to worry about. In fact, President Akufo-Addo amami ni abema yujinahi I issue statements beyond that or my directive I mean say just as in 2020 omokache so obi Antonio official vehicle no 2024 no, the directive still holds. 3rd January obi an official vehicle and submit it, and then you will get the receipt showing say the car number and chassis say every property you buying there in your possession once submitted. Me ba buy mo manje bangalo. I my say my life I didn't transition into power as in power until after election and nothing has changed. That's what me cry and say. So everybody, to the best of my knowledge, yenina unsa a voting you be and handing over notes by September, October, or be a submit any day. Niaka HBS even at the ministerial level, ministry, no more small transition committee to exit and give notes to make it easier for whoever coming in to understand the accounts and the systems and what's in place. We are on it and we are doing that. It doesn't call for violence, it doesn't call for anything. But Omokan specifically say assembly ya de beba beto abonte yemi enu yeni ye hon komo ne enconfer ansana yakase ya agree on this position. Entin rewi omo frame me so ya bo wudi se de waka ho no. I got that understanding. In fact, I proceeded to reach out to a few people to get Felix's number. Say be ochinanapa before the second meeting na me friend for us to compare notes. So sitting here I was so surprised to hear say he has even granted unilateral interviews. Ake kan sem ache nkrofo ama they have published some stories purported to be coming from him and subsequently maintain interviews nibi. Some of the statements that is not what transpired at the meeting. And I believe say if we had the opportunity to confer as the committee had advised that objection and say protest no would have been recorded. Near reconciling a note to present things at this time, but that didn't happen. But and now some of the issues have come up. No, let me use opportunity anyway feed the case to respond to them. Obi nyedi kind, mamin kind any nyane Ghana this year, and they say by law, any by convention. The mandate Ghana mrapono executive authority Ghana mrapono dema omampenyi ebi ne yede ama omampenyi na na adodanko Akufo-Addo. It does not expire until the midnight of 6th January 2025. Yes. Transitions Act no Emma transition team no authority be say a constitutive committee na all of a sudden wona abeche finance minister ni ontua ne kan ni mani ntia wona abeche president appointment a wonye ne ne wonye ene ne nkeka ho enimusa. And in fact sani e refi ne emra na kakra na 2016 metima ma specific reference to two reference comments am we from me ni abema Felix Kwachi-Ofosu and honorable Mama Yarga Ebra Omoforme committee on 19th December 2016 the incoming government now advised on setting a point. Say it's only a political comment and now authority to show the government what to do whilst the mandate of the government has not expired. In two publications on Ghana Web, My Joy Online, Modern Ghana, from 19th to 20th December 2016 many a lot of references to share about near Felix Khan at the time, and if Honorable Mama Yarga, who is a member of the committee, Khan at the time, what can I say after former President Mahama lost the elections in 2016, or your appointment, substantive appointment to NCC, Miss Nkrumah Okanya. Osaya appointment, substantive appointment to Shraj.
Yes.
Shraj boss on the appointed no from I think somewhere 20th of December 2016 to date on one that's what
yes.
President Akufo-Addo Mesesano. When him so executive mining agreements. After Olusi election on 28th December 2016, or your appointment to Controller and Accountant General, or your appointment to Auditor General. In fact, as late as 4th January 2017, now former President Mahama Egusu your appointments. No Ogusu execute contracts. No Ogusu ye payments of contracts are never by mu. And let me give you a few examples. I'm referring you to publication there Modern Ghana in December 2016. I will refer to a payment of 18 million euros. Waste management contract signed with SCL Waste Management Limited. Honorable Mama Ayarga executee. And at that time, when he was confronted, or can say, and I'm quoting, or say, I have, and I quote, I say, I have up to 6th January 2017 to implement what I want to do. And at the end of the day, I'm saying that the mandate of this government has not expired. Number 2, they were talking about payments being done by the Finance Ministry and Controller and Accountant General. And they were also talking about recruitment into some security agencies
and some MDAs.
Let me refer you. Say, Obi, where statements are Ministry of Interior the Beto Abonte.
Yes.
Announcements are Ghana Police Service at the Beto Abonte about schedule for recruitment all the way from August of 2024. Mostly processes now.
Yes.
You would know, say Omayimu, answer no being recruitment crowd within the public sector. Omo aye drawn from Ministry of Finance na ese unya clearance. That clearance no authority a wobenya with commitments of Finance Ministry so omoye towards salaries and compensations after omoye assessment of allocation or more to give to that agency, ministry or security institution. And yet to say yeah sorry after election na osisa enkwala bia yen check your background yen medicals yen hwe na do makogu training school.
Yeah, but also from their intel and apart from security agencies for no MDSDB recruitment and phone call interview omunye medicals impo ye issue an appointment letter.
I'm telling you, say enya no kre, and me say enya no kre. He who alleges must prove.
Yes.
They should bring proof of any such individual on interview or apply. The institution did not receive financial clearance for that recruitment within the budget year and walk ahead on their own authority to go and recruit. It hasn't happened. When him say omu recruit you into the police service, no. In fact, they were at the Tesano training school before election. They were only released 2 days before election. So omunya den omu kotuaba no omu back. Police service at the list but to all the regional capitals baby are no more recruit. It was a public document. A clearance and also free finance ministry by and also so de to abontain as a public document. Ministry be our commitment payment. Yes, as Ministry of Information. When him say you procure 40 state of the art LED vans for information services department.
Yes.
And unkwani the major item and in our capex for this year. We were expecting delivery in September. Vans in November. But what you say, they have to put in the necessary efforts to make sure say if you go and say me my finance ministry in chia into civil servants now who are beneficiaries of this capital expenditure that has been featured in the 2024 budget since November 2023 no also because they are too abama, so the remaining mandate of the current administration must expire so that accumulate sika to honum ama wo de abeye adwuma. Does it make sense?
But the argument has been said there is always precedence, and they refer to a letter written by Honorable Osafo to the then outgoing chief of staff. Say, and with your permission, no, go ahead. Or say, I write to confirm our agreement reached on the above subject matter per our telephone conversation on December 17th, 2016, which took place within the hours of 17:00 GMT as follows. 1. The current rush to recruit personnel at various MDAs appears improper and must be discontinued. 2. It is agreed that positions such as the government statistician and senior staff personnel of IOCO are highly critical and must only be carried out with the explicit consent of the transition team of the president-elect. 3. It is mutually agreed that the recruitment of the government statistician and senior staff of IOCO and other MDA shall therefore be suspended by the government, considering the short duration of the transition period. We trust that any emergencies that may arise regarding the need for recruitment shall be considered on a case-by-case basis and with the explicit consent of the transition team of the president-elect. This letter was written on December 17th, 2016 to Julius Deborah. Why are you departing from our principle?
Obi, Wakasa.
Yes.
It is based on this letter na make us say. The then transition team members from Yeye Party wrote this letter. It is true, dated 17 December to the then chief of staff, telling them that this is what we think should be done. So they should depart from what they are doing. But they stated categorically and by action that the transition team's work does not place an embargo on the executive mandate of the executive president duly elected and sworn in as president of the republic. And after this letter dated 17 December, they went ahead to make all the appointments I mentioned to you on all these institutions. They came after this letter. They went ahead to sign mining agreements, contracts with Exxon Quebec after this letter. So clearly they showed us, say, until their mandate, and I have also referred to the contracts execution by Honorable Mama Yarga and the interview he granted, say his executive of mandate Ghana for their man and expires on 6th January 2017. President Akufo-Addo na bind will expire on 6th January 2025 at midnight, and we are not asking for an hour beyond. But if they stick by the convention and they have shown us the law, and these issues they even sent it to court. I don't know if you remember. If they have shown us the law, they've shown us the way. I don't know why all of a sudden they will depart from it, because in any area manaka don't pay cry say yen chain na yen so yamra ne mestate ye there afresh, so they should keep the same energy. Na nyame ya adomo a say aka ma otwe ahene aduru 7 January na beba position obi amfane de nkoni fie ye beba omuchi dom prekope ne ye papa no ye beka se mu apiafo ne enye no, we will be a responsive and responsible opposition. We will respond accordingly.
You are saying say recruitment are in the various MDAs, they are according to law ni bibiano what happened.
May say if it is legitimate, nothing stops the government, because just as they showed us in 2016, the Transitions Act does not put embargo on the executive authority of the government. That's true. And there has not been any other convention. Don't expect all of a sudden because the tables have turned. I think the smooth thing we have done is to have a peaceful election and also put together a very formidable team from both sides. So how best we can do the handover.
He makes the point about some payments via agencies need be air to a third party contractor society, ECG for example, over $295 million to a company. That amount or say will impact on the fiscals of the nation. And clearly the incoming administration should be aware who your payment to be say.
Let me remind you, every budget cycle any projections of where they are going to mobilize revenue from. Whether it's from taxation, whether it's for grants, from grants, or whether it's finance. And it is based on all those projections and anticipations in the budget year. And more prepare what we call the budgets. But on yes, almost the core parliament near pass appropriation within the budget period. they are able to spend as much as what they have raised or calculated for. But I want to say,
no.
I believe so from 7 January, where they would do via, I believe said there was supposed to be some appropriation ahead of the budget just to help to pay the salaries for the first 3 months. And then they will go ahead and do substantive budget. Whatever budget they will prepare will take into consideration the revenue that they will raise within that period, what they are able to spend. And look around advice on what taxes will remain, what they will cut, what they will introduce. And let me remind you that just as we came in whilst they were under an IMF program, we are also living whilst we are under an IMF program. So I've been hinted, say they want to do some reviews of the program. That is fine. I don't have any problem with that. And we will support them within this transition period by the grace of God for us to have a very smooth process. Nothing makes me prouder in times like this than being called a Ghanaian. Because yet here who wants to say and ya fe no bi kwa kofa etu ni ejan sekian neke ye metu abangu yempesa. And I'll say that whilst we are in government and say that whilst we are in opposition. Say ye this soja abanya na etrutra sembeba de. Even if it's the alternative that is in government, I'm satisfied with that. But they should not think we've been here before. They should not think, say, because the public and the good people of this country decided to roll the dice and they are beneficiaries of that dice, all of a sudden, even before what is allowed under the constitution allows, that will not be allowed.
Will not happen.
They will not oust the authority of the finance minister. They will not oust the authority of the president. President Akufo-Addo was not given for 3 years and 11 months or 3 years and 10 months. He has a second term of a 4-year mandate. And by the grace of God, he is going to lead through it all until the midnight of 6th January 2025.
I think your point is very well made. In the committee meeting,
the next meeting at 10 a.m. And to me, I am committed to tea to make sure say BBA smooth. And as I said, of course, say if it's one-sided and our side of the narrative is not out there for the good people of Ghana to hear, it is not fair. And open edime pia bonten. Ye no afiri ono so nsamba ya mensamba. Ye beko kukuamu na yakodi enkomo. Na miniminu abema ye hu how best we will present the position of the transition team. Yes, in a way that brings honor and glory to our beloved country. Because the election is done. The power has changed hands. There is no need for the politicking and embellishment and painting. It will not change anything within the next 4 years. It won't. Into what year we are, let us also finish the remaining term of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Yes. Na yenko your opposition in peace.
Just a little. I am 1 minute to think. I am saying, you see, when it comes to communication, in such a manner, there are parameters. I remember time and I'm OPRC. I'm the only director of board meeting because of the sensitivity of tariffs. So, in this, there should be parameters from the transition team, the leadership. The 2 co-chairs should have let somebody within the team who has a communication background draft guidelines for communication. And in the meeting, after everything is said and done, they should tell the 2 communications spokesperson
this is our position.
This is the position. So the opposition side should say at this time the opposition side is NDC should say this is what we want to bring out. Then the government side will say this. Then you all agree at the meeting. You get, because truly it wouldn't be very nice to say Fati Bekasi, ne Felix Bekasi. The backwards and forward is not good for communication. Even if they do not confer, there should be a blueprint for communication. There are blueprints, there are strategies for communication, there are formulas for communication, and I believe the two of them would know what it is, what formula they're in, what strategy they're in, whatever there is for you to communicate based on where you are. You look at the sensitivity of what you are doing. But after everything, and I have advocated for that to say, then the government in power, that's after 7 December, should come and tell us the state of the economy based on what they found out at the transition team. And when that happens, the chairman of the transition team, who is on the side of at that time government, Julius,
new government,
will do the press conference himself or delegate for us to know exactly what is.
I do find it out from the
transition team. The transition team, whatever comes out, will tell us the state of our nation.
The economy,
not the economy, the nation.
Okay,
because it encompasses all sectors of the nation. So it will tell us about finances. It will tell us about what we have to do as far as health is concerned. It will tell us works and housing, our housing deficit, what money has been brought in, bilateral arrangements that have been done, grants that have been brought in, how much the money, how it was used, the IMF, where we are. We have every sector, and every sector will give. They will give us
the state of the sector.
Okay. So it encompasses everything, and they'll present it to the media, and it will be escalated to everywhere, and there will be, questions, answers, and we all know what it is.
Very well.
As it is now, as a form of strategy, there should be communication guidelines
for the two spokespersons. I agree with you, and I think in principle, everyone agrees. I mean, maybe if you are because this controversy, maybe it will come to the attention of the committee.
I mean, say issues where how many people even know among the
committee? I don't even. I also don't like the equalization of my sister. If you condemn something, condemn and say that it is not right. Because you see, then Ofosutu will go somewhere and bring something. Then you go somewhere and bring something. It does not promote cohesion as far as... If she condemns what it is, she condemns it.
Condemn what?
That's whatever protocol that were put in place were not...
the best
adhered to. Do you get me?
Okay.
So going forward, maybe we need to adhere to the protocol that has been agreed, that the two of us must confer. The fact that one is now going into opposition, one is coming into government, does not mean that they are enemies. The best defense minister in this country conferred with the people who are ahead of him, and he told me personally that
the best defense minister.
Yes. He told me personally that he conferred with a kafia. At that time, to confer with a kafia was like say, why you bonny?
Dominic Nitiwula
the bida.
The best defense minister.
Yes.
And yet Dominic Nitiwula.
How can Dominic Nitiwula be the best defense minister? Dr. Efri.
Mama.
Dr. Efri. Dr. Adokofo free.
Okay.
So customer no say no. Papa Dr. Adokofo Adokofo.
Dem say me person make can because
o ka sempa na be go abaso be
to you the best defense minister.
Yes, the first defense minister
we've had as a country.
Yes. At this Fourth Republic.
Yeah.
And he consulted, he told me, President Nana, it didn't matter who it was. He consulted. So there's nothing wrong with, we don't know who is going to be the next communications minister. But if at this point, Felix is the spokesperson, and
to the transition,
and Fati is not information minister to that effect, she's the spokesperson. So if the committee together has maybe someone in among confer, you should confer, but don't come and also sit here to equalize. And this went on, and that one.
There be Obin Patrol. That one I Patrol, mommy, opportunity to set the record straight.
Patrol setting the street.
So when who say me buy?
Yes.
Me if you saw more announce if it no mountain.
Dabi.
Meaning say ansana bibia me bia efe. Say me frame me abema na say anapayishia meeting na say ye beji bibia kita ne tablet and ani be beji ne ma to me diaba. But I'm saying say breaching protocol, no, it's not just a breach. We're making some allegations in that breach, which has to be responded to, because the misinformation and the impression carried with those allegations, no, we can't throw it just away.
You have lost
and make
already.
it appear.
Right now, does it really matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are saying transition.
Fatima Pacho, stay on course for one.
Na because Nana say me party nya percentage. So what with the elements? And to Obi, but for those allegations and those comments, but it has become necessary because I've also seen say it's been widely circulated. As if say whatever the convention was under this Fourth Republic, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led administration is departing from it. And Sesebi, it is not right. So I am only here to set the record straight, not to equalize. Oh, until the kingdom come.
Maminti, Honorable Vondi, who will become away who are fair bar na yaka.
No, what I mean, Mamintia, now in show it's here for.
Congratulations and so.
Thank you.
Honorable Vondi.
Also, I don't know about my catcher and say, I know what Mahama will get.
Yes, okay.
And I know that the MPP will struggle to get 4 seats in Greater Accra. And I told you that Mahama, yes, and I told you Mahama will not get anything less than 56%. The records are there.
Honorable Vondi.
Yes.
No, Prophet Vondi.
Yes, I'm
brutal.
I am bigger than the prophet, actually.
And maybe I will do Archbishop.
The constituency for Moshe TSU, Michelle Womunina.
Yes.
And that Womunina say, I mean, it's been very good and nice, you know. I think was right at 2020 we knew about 1,800 but this time around it's 4,500 thereabouts.
Hey.
Wow. So we're just trying to consolidate, you know, whatever it is.
You may swag about
What's on the wedding ring?
We'll be one of what we need election. It is a yanka. You know, my main boy, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Abaso, and again, my main boy, His Excellency Mahamudu Bawumia Abaso, for his concession.
Yeah.
In fact, listen, I mean, when I was in my constituency, when I listened to him talk, I was just like, oh, this is a gentleman. Because you see, I mean, this world will not end. Of course it won't. I mean, when we see election, the honorable thing to do, and he said, you accept, say, well, you say, look at what happened to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she agreed and she's moving on.
Yeah.
And to me, say, few packet rioting here and there, you know, Brazilian medium, sometimes, you know, will be where we lose the election. Some of the big wings are lost. Sometimes it's difficult to agree, say, this is what is happening to you. For Mibra Anudompre, for example. I mean, this is a big wing.
Hold on. This is a big wing. This is a big wing of the party. Yeah. A whole chief whip. Yes.
And boom. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy. So I understand that, but you see, look, I mean, this world will not end. You don't understand, and those allegations that were coming up and down, say, you know, but I feel, say, it's about time that we cool down.
Yeah,
we're running a gun, and this is running more than too huge. I mean, 2/3 majority is not a joke. Yeah. Who can turn everything upside down?
Everything
in this country.
Everything.
I mean, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not a supreme leader
of Ghana.
He's a king. You know, he says it and it happens. You know, he's the choice of the people. They've handed the entire country to him. I mean, so there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit down and watch him do the thing. You know, for me, I think it's good. And Obi, look, I tell you what, let us not pretend in this country.
Yes.
You are going out of government and you are making some very huge payments. I don't know what is urgent about those payments that you can't wait for new administration to look at.
But why should they wait when they still have the mandate?
260 million in this alien economy, this junk economy where students are struggling to eat, where you've taken this economy to, and you are leaving government. And what surprises me, Obi, and they say these payments are linked to companies that are supposedly belong to the gentleman who is leaving government.
Those are allegations.
This is how I say supposedly, and I'm surprised and I'm scandalized. Say and then he attempt to say I am surprised because we're moving on, we're moving forward, and I thought that these people should know better. My opinion, if you like, is that the resounding victory of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and then the control of Parliament that have been delivered by Ghanaians into our hands must teach all of us a lesson that, hey, cool down, man. Cool down. And it must be a lesson to the NDC too. Remember 2016? How we lost. In as much as our own was not monumental like this. In fact, MPP's loss in Parliament is legendary. You know, I mean, so but the point is that it is the same Ghanaians ahead to Abano. So let us not feel that we're here and therefore we're going to be here forever. Our deeds will be judged according to whatever it is that we'll be doing, you know. And 4 years there, it is like 4 days. And so please, let us, all of us, let's be very careful. Transition will happen. Unfortunately, I mean, the lies have started again. People are trying to reposition themselves. You know, when you hear Nana Akufo-Addo say that the growth in this economy is about, 7.something% already. I was extremely quiet.
It's not a lie.
I was extremely quiet, and I believe that the moderator, I believe that the moderator of this program,
honorable. But you also know, sir, for such figures, how do you lie about such figures? Because Ababa Parliament, so how would you lie about them?
Nana Akufo-Addo may not be lying about it.
Yes,
but I'm saying that the cookers of the figures are the people who put it before him. But
how do you cook the figures?
Okay, but we've seen this government
growth 7.2. How is that?
That cannot be true.
How?
But I don't want to go there because if I want to discuss that, it will take a whole lot of time. So let's not go there. Okay, the Americans say let the transition go according to the way it's supposed to go. After all, we have the power now. Ghanaians will feel very, very comfortable now. The bet tax, the bet tax will go. Betting tax will go. The emission tax will go. COVID-19 will go. All of them will go. Ghanaians levy will go. All Ghanaians will be happy, and Ghanaians are happy.
Very well.
But that should be a lesson to the NDC, especially. That you see, whatever we do today, we'll be writing the very. And the resounding victory is bringing us to a table that is really hot. Because it's an economy that is not doing well. You see all the monies that have been borrowed. This is the time that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to work, and we must deliver.
Okay.
So it's not going to be easy. Nobody should think that we've come to a table of luxury. Hey, let us also chop some. No, man. You got to cool down, man. No, we're not crying. We're not being very careful.
The president-elect in this interview, Daily Graphic, I report here, and say President-elect John Dramani Mahama has indicated that his government will review and adjust existing agreements with Ghana's development partners to better meet the needs of the public. This move aims to put Ghana and its partners on the same page regarding the aspirations of the people as outlined in the incoming government election campaign. The newly elected government president said the adjustment was crucial and would help put the new government that would be inaugurated on January 7th on the same springboard with our development partners to begin the rebuilding of the economy and the country. There is a quote attributed to him, or say, I don't kid myself that it is going to be an easy task.
Absolutely.
It is going to be quite tough. I anticipated that we were going to win, but I didn't anticipate the margin by which we were going to win. Inti wajia tumse the task ahead would be daunting, but I adi ombeye bibia meet the needs of the Ghanaian people. Yes, especially
now we've been under an IMF program.
Yes,
your third review and our fourth disbursement about December.
Yes,
the BBRA Ecoso Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance, IMF 40 hasi money.
Sure,
you know they have country representatives, they have experts who have walked through everything we have done every step of the way.
Yes,
and let me even commend Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam. Since he became a finance minister, every single month we monthly economic updates. On my updates anyway, na se IMF be review bia osane both the country representative Stefan Rude and the Bank of Ghana governor Dr. Addison. Omo joint press briefing. Emma Monsencho for nyina ebetina ho no moka. Whatever the data is, enye bibi e wokokom. When himself for the first 2 quarters of this year. Omo de beto abonten say your growth rate for the 2 quarters average growth rate near 5.8%. So what can the first quarter and the second quarter boma? It's estimated say your average growth rate for the 3 quarters is 6.3%. So and these were projected because even IMF, any S&P, any Moody's, TNU, almost share your recovery post the global cost of living crisis. Projections for mama they started reviewing it upwards. So enya say obetima ka say me enam say me ni aban mu ntino me so man obi o statistical service one o hye kokko mu no okuki figures bi say ne okuki figures de koto aba enka 2016 ka NDC enka mu kuki more than 3.6% growth no me de koto aba and I make us say the die has been cast. The people have chosen former President John Dramani Mahama to lead them in this times. We do not have any problem with that. We will give you all the opportunity to serve, but it cannot change the narrative and the record of President Nana Akufo-Addo. And we are insisting we are insisting on this record because the duopoline or Ghana former President Mahama say Ghana for man honeymoon no you on men can nada achana June na honeymoon face ne twem. They will go back to say he na near work under ona won't media publications now all over. Intimacy me my video no I'm telling you on authority and to the only mamen come and say we are na nanso aka intimacy honeymoon face ni betwemu no. By the end of the year Ghanaians are going to check on their salaries, on every social project, on every promise, on the 24-hour economy and all that. I am saying say the only reason why we need to defend the exit record because we cannot lose that narrative for someone to say growth rate and
I think on the growth rate figure again the Daily Graphic report economy grows 7.2% in third quarter. McLean Kofi writes for the Daily Graphic because Ghana's economy grew by 7.2% year on year in the third quarter of this year compared to the 2.2% recorded in the same period last year. The Ghana Statistical Service has revealed this growth is the strongest since pre-pandemic levels, with the last comparable performance being a 9.1% expansion in the second quarter of 2019. On a seasonally adjusted basis, the country's real gross domestic product increased by 1.7% in Q3 of 2024 compared to the second quarter, slightly higher than the 1.6% recorded in Q2 of 2024. There is a part of the story that says the industrial sector recorded the highest real GDP growth of 10.4% year on year, followed by the services sector at 6.4%, while the agri sector recorded a growth rate of 3.2%. In the way GSS data in the honorable Obi, it cannot be a lie. Obi,
please. Mr. 1 minute. This issue of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama talking about honeymoon was very contextual.
Okay.
we should not extend it to other areas.
Okay.
Now we'll meet a group of TUC for, and now one more can about almost salary increases.
Yes.
And I'll say about salary increases now, or jitum set as I said, you increase your salaries.
Exactly.
But Oba,
he
will increase it, but
time
exactly.
After transition in near my behuninano, as so Timmy Boabuano. Na enya dia won't cheer warm because when him say a statutory, when him say a compulsory, into Omberman no time kakra. He didn't talk about the whole country because Uncle honeymoon and one cassette the first 14 days of Befani ministers, 120 days near more being the man is not asking for a honeymoon, so nobody should come and tell us. MPP former Lucy election, they should be humble. Saturday as if some all of a sudden as if attack. They should be humble. They should be humble enough to reflect and know.
It is your money. No,
but some much and trouble baby
the beautiful ladies I met here today. They don't want me to talk. These beautiful ladies that I met here today. They don't want me to talk.
Okay. Mama menye we mra me ba
ebi na me pesa meka so ebi mu bi baby say osono to for my boy bi aye ebo no bi the issue is that and there is nothing wrong with that me gidi say abrabo kra nso hwenim no ne neche say em say wa mba wi ase obi enipa bia ne nyame de beso na hwe enti de me hu a loss no as the end of the world. I think say a opportunity a nyame ede kan ye say onu ni nyame adwuma bi wo he say ya ahobrase mu ne ani de mu ye beden ye betimi aye atoto niema, but I don't think say it is fair say abribi e besi nkonwa ye be ma akonya na me yasoa blame ni nyina de ama nipa baako ye lose election into all of a sudden your friend is saying NDC for nyina done data analysis showing us nipa enam no so near Lucy. I think the new patriotic party and the outgoing government will be more interested in doing a research surgically and reaching out to the base of our party in all humility to ensure that we know exactly why we had low turnouts, exactly what happened. What is behind us is gone. We are moving on. But I think say it's unfair. Say Rebecca say na to say no bubu I don't even want to repeat it. Na meka no. Say yen kunimdie na ba ya minjin di say betena ha nko no penny a day anyunyam no be den e be hye no nti I think it is unfair. Say me bra ayi nipa ba ko pe o ye party e dey aso ani ti say na say na meka no.
No, he's not the only person. No, all of them together. But we're only dealing with them one after the other. What you say? We want to talk about Baumia. It is about the lies.
I am saying
the lies.
Obi as leader. As a leader,
yes.
Me semi pia bontin na bia se bia ifu soldiers ni bi na ehia ka se mo amu leadi ye no mo leadi akodu ha se ame meje atum mpacha ote na me pa che na se because I can't escape responsibility. Even some tell me kwa na ka se oh wo de won ka ho eye we mu na ye I think say bibia ye frɛ abrofo frɛ bibi collective action se nkan ni onyam ba ye na ye nyina ye be den ye be himu a eningwase ba me de me boji. So I don't want to sit here and allow for us to handpick any individual. Obia wo mistake. Ye nyina obia anya mistake a minji ndisenka this is the outcome. Obia wo ni mistake. I make me as an individual. Whatever I thought I could do in my capacity as minister, deputy minister, as deputy director, I've done it.
But they let
we are saying nyame oboy en satia nyina anyepe. Me nkasa I'm the best thing to have happened to my ministry. Nyame ma those who can even do better. Come after me. Because that is what Ghana deserves. But media, Mayema for Mudie. Nemom yebeja tum say we have a collective responsibility for the outcome. Ye party nenya. Mom go back to the drawing board and engage and common and yen nani yebediwa. Mekra de menya and Kenya radio so ni TV so komokra. We should take a time and quietly underground reorganize and regroup and come back. And me, my spirit is high because I know the party that I belong to. And I know the new patriotic party will bounce back in ways that will beat the imagination of men. This is a hurdle in our tracks. It's not the end of the road. Nyame ma yenkwa tenteni ahonde nko a sene ensuo to yes and we answer so boy ebe da foforo ebe ba
wishing us bad.
Me say da foforo ebe sa betra say na me ya
started wishing us bad already.
Maka already say media minya.
Said you say
media
Abaye de bote chili de bebo ba.
Very careful and responsible.
They will do the work the way Ghanaians expect. Because me ni baby ko. O mind ye nyina ye den ye timu.
We will do it.
So for baby mo bom pa mama. Yes. But the point is that mo anya ni ye nso ebe den ye beka. Enye mpo na ye beka. Ghana for na bebo mu nkonsa. Na emo ma bro mu bom nkon. Mo anya ni ye na mo bom nkonsa. Omomra na ya ready. No, lady, I wish you all the best. I wish Ghana success in all things. Because minjin this me a minority will be me wa brochira Rebecca say oh you black. You will be treated poorly as they treat every minority. Baby, I will be a minority. Say your gender money treaty was a minority. Are you getting the picture? Say even a busuamu poni treaty as a minority. I baby, I'm free. And I'm grateful for every opportunity. But me say, yentimi metana radio so. Na ye nyi content kura na nipa mienu. E megu o mani mu asense o mudi. Ese asemese ne obententi na election. The leadership of the party, they know what to do. And all of us, our spirit is high to help them, for all of us to do what is best for our party, for us to recover in record time.
Who will be your next presidential candidate? Maybe some sister somehow. Maybe some sister.
It's the work of our party.
Maybe some sister. Who will be your next presidential candidate?
It does not lie with me.
It's not a fair question anyway.
What's the press statement be by from Nana Poku?
Nana Poku de men sign kai ma wa na.
Yes, if you dey ni bia na e paluta.
Obi.
Ene de mi.
Obi, me so Nana time ni twam. Advert ga.
Na wa wonu ya Nana Poku na ya ma bo na yam sa.
Yes, if you no ni na do you know something? The constituency do you know what happened? 3 days to the election. My opponents went for one band be a friend of you bango say do mo bubo onyu
band
do mo gada youth dey so obo onyu mo mesa almost say na mesa the elections are not held yet. Why are you doing this to yourself? Almost I am addiction. Addiction, you got to abeya. And I'm supporters me cover the same band as here.
Elections are party. I was a baby only lose.
What's serious?
I'm who's a son. The party do baby no almost 2016 and baby for NDC4.
Yes, I am.
If you are not,
I don't know where Mahama people.
What I say, and I was also go is Fiana, but the Musa in press release is Fiana Paluta a press. I know
why me I'm a patch.
There be more than Yemi Pisano. There me there's a been patrolling adverts. We have a Paco. Nana, Mamma, come on, election, Kauko honeymoon. Oh, Mamma,
no, really, you're
never Sichiniano, Obi a Yamana Nampon. Obi
Manisimendum non Faka.
Yes. Fatika was your mobile reset.
Reset.
What can reset?
Oh, you see our word.
Oh, you see reset when you are not in check. Was yes, a near reset. Man can reset. I've on one you see reset. Hey, on one for reflect. What's it reset and reflect? Grouping.
But it means the same thing.
It means the same thing. Obi. No, because a deputy CEO of GIPC.
Yes.
Or me make a be about a minim de maker and on NTNE.
One castle win him there.
There was me mistrust
in the East, you know. And also evidence of mistrust in a day.
Afrobarometer, dear normal kind 68% of Ghanaians.
To the evidence.
What is
perception?
No, what am I saying? 68% of Ghanaians, and near me, of course, it created mistrust. no deputy C da be na GIP deputy CEO ba ho me adwuma o 10 years of GIP so ni ye wo CEO
they say do more deputy CEO
ebanu nya na dey blow to government no
it is say o so say Mahama be twa no
o me twam
ontwa deputy ni
for what GIP we are officers for every department. Why do you need a deputy CEO?
Or for minister sister, ontwa deputy CEO.
A deputy CEO the other. The ministry in patch up ya work na. It is not strange o. Baby na dey ayi ne ba na yesa niema we you cost to know. Deputy CEO senior government office. The ministry so say ya mama geti at the snow we are doing 16. The constitution says a 19 cabinet. Makai mashada kan. The wo say here with a transport ayachemu 22. Into the railways ni ho aviation no mina akoshe transport asia. Why you 3 film? Akazen.
But oh yeah, I mean, it's also for deputies be me no.
Deputy for deputies me no saying. Okay, yeah, fancy 16. One for deputies 22 kura for 32. One for regional meter 16 still a biaka.
What can the trash out?
No, but still a biaka. What you say fan say my sister would the bus 16. Now for deputy ministers 22 for each ministry and 32. Now for 16 for regional ministers and 48. Still I can say I can't share 12. What did I major? So okay, Kamboma. I can't share 12 because there were 22 railways, aviation, one, communication and information, one. You are going drilling down to about 16, 17. Into 5 deputies is also 111. I'm saying, what for regional ministers 111? You are doing 48, still like a 12. Where the cost is not a government machinery. Any deputy CEOs. So it's my government machinery. Don't go for baby. I need national presidential staffer. Need no money you tell me because in go for ni baby almost government machinery no. You tell almost salary and kasa. What am I say? Yeah, share almost go through conditions like a civil service because presidency in a civil service. Into the demo will be a free zones. Obi shall go higher the man because you are employing you PR for your own man or your sound listing your graphic designers a honor cost no. Into the Bianan for kind of ministers, young computing cost of ministers and Kwan. Near computing cost of government machinery. Government machinery is different from the ministers. Obi never breaking it down. Masha that kind 22.
Mama, manko phobia juma na men sign run away, mami. Yango cargo drivers. So you say, ote Yango drive hailing apps na a car and ketwa and amount for tie there. This time the Yango 4 is doing something new. On which same was a cargo car, but it say Daihatsu hijet. Abuso kai macho sana bebre na freno. And ye Kia bongo. And I say closed van. But it say Hyundai 800 na. Nasa wopese wunya sika up to 8,000 Ghana cedis every week. Me pacho Yango for an opportunity to be a Yango partner when a delivery service na ye tonsa efre new cargo drivers someone join it. It's the fastest growing team and make some money. The here say o cargo car bia o abuso kan macho ni bi o Kia bongo o sa Hyundai Haze cars ni bi de seat bia ni train e van na wutimi eyusu e de delivery sir me pacho you have the opportunity to become a Yango partner. Now imagine say unya 8,000 Ghana cedis every week. Yango cargo courier na amount flexible working hours like when and how long you want to work. A some additional bonuses for top performers up to 4,700 Ghana cedis. Bonus here, them apart from 8,000 obenya way additional bonuses are obetima sign enya. Say a non-branded car or car no person will be branded with Yango BBR. Yabema 50 Ghana's this additional for 5 trips, 150 Ghana's this additional for 10 trips, 400 Ghana's this additional for 15 trips, 850 Ghana's this additional for 20 trips, 1,250 Ghana's this additional for 25 trips. We have 30 trips. Yama an additional money of 1,800. We additional bonus here. The amount 35 trips. Yama 2,300 Ghana's this additional. 40 trips. Yama 3,200 Ghana's this additional money. So would you need a branded truck? Opposite the Yango way in a bonhua. Osan extra bonus of 1,500 Ghana cedis for 35 trips. It's amazing. Just download Yango Pro on your smartphone. Choose your city. A park ubetimi awo na wa call it to the phone number of a park in the app. So pesa utimu nsemu ya friend number 0509 131 143 0509 131 143. It's a glorious opportunity at the amount 0509 131 143. So cargo car bia you can join and become a partner of Yango. Na sika will be make here so when and so catch it, take advantage, Mr. Remo. Nana, yes.
Obi, you see, I had an interest in this because Mr. Sanko focus as Excellency Mahama on to me for 60 ministers, and so I decided to go into it to interrogate it to be sure say it possible.
Okay.
Me it's now a public service for 27 years. I started very young. Me free mukrana mindi 50 but me koye.
Okay.
So the point is that there are chief directors in the ministries. What is their job? They have to help the minister administratively.
Yeah.
There are directors of departments. So for instance, aviation, railways, transport. There can be directors who are aviation patrol airport from Kumasi airport. They say Pempe the first or more charter Ethiopian Airlines man be chase you hono. A dear Ben ho. You would 2 local aircraft pay. And an airport is why should aviation have a ministry? It can be a department under the Ministry of Transport.
Okay.
Not director dan. Then there's a chief director. Then there's a one deputy minister. Do you know that normally deputy ministers cast all ministers in more juma, most of them all ministers in more who they are because a juma and also sassy be drew. So minister and the chief director yet one shall deputy minister no. So what is the point? But me one near talk amount a top to BBA. So once they are chief directors who are the friend is saying public servants no. The chief directors will work with the ministers. So then you have one deputy in case he say also the schedule. But largely no, all these departments will have a director. So there's no need to bloat that side. Inti metansi am here work and I'm who said the 60 is possible.
Okay.
His Excellency Mahama can take 60 ministers, takes deputy ministers, takes regional ministers, and get an extra 12. You just to amalgamate the ministries.
Because of 16 regional ministers.
Yes.
Now I 16 ministers.
60, that's 32.
And we are 32.
Yes.
Now say
I 16 deputy ministers.
16 deputy ministers.
48. I got 12.
Now I got 12.
Yes.
Now some ministries will be here 2
deputies. No. Now what they account. She is done. You see, it is about hard work. It is about me commitment for His Excellency Mahama to succeed because I believe in him.
But so we are 16 years. The real issue with the Office of Government must now work out. And yet just ministers. This never from the honor Nipa.
I believe that His Excellency John Dramani should grow entrepreneurs. Do you get me? 100 people, young men. Obi Munum say young people.
No bit may be a juma.
Who expertise may be a legal, who bet may be a big legal firm now for young lawyers. A friend is saying, Oman. Omahene and nam ho adwuma obetimi be a bigger or fan for so he should grow 100 one year so grow 100 entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who can also multiply and take people to work. What am I saying? So these are some of the things that obetimi aye because BBI government machinery, BBI government machinery. At the end of the day, he realizes that he has bloated the Flagstaff out, but not a fault of his own because grassroots are looking for jobs because jobs have not been created. Now, Obasoso only one money AGI, Guta ni abetimi migrated to AGI migrate. Because some of the good type people, they have money. The market women, they have money. Only investment plan biya. As I say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Timima put Ghana Investment Promotion Center to use for them to come up with business plans. And for mu sika betimi atapo in. Obi wo or business acumen. Business plan on kwa yen baby at $3,000. Ofu so nisika. Until let the GIPC, the Free Zones Board, the Ministry of Trade come together and look at the sectors that are available. What kind of business opportunities are there for people to take advantage of?
GIPs, why you Juma?
Yes, me Juma 10 years. Then me Juma Free Zones Board 4 years.
And I
PURC 14 years.
In any of those agencies, no bit my boy or mine.
Of course, why not? So my Juma directly makes me a settle. Because for me, I want him to succeed. And you see, the things are more sexy. This nipa benye Juma. It is key. You have institutions that are meant to create businesses. We shouldn't always look out at the outside investor, and he should also look at renegotiating our natural mineral agreements for it to benefit us as Ghanaians. Oil agreements, gold, all of them. Bauxite, he should sit down and let some people be in a group to renegotiate so that the renegotiation part should benefit the people of Ghana. It is very key. Se nipa nya aduane di ane ho atono na me minim say Excellency John Dramani Mahama he knows how to feed.
Na me hwe ne Mahama's first 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana. And nominate within the first 14 days, complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Number 2, constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in my first 90 days in office. And I established a robust code of conduct. But the 4, hold the national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide.
Because out of this, it's also a import substitution plan.
Sure.
An import substitution plan that looks at there was 70% import. That looks at maybe for now a 25, maybe 45, or a 30-40. That we do 30 in Ghana and import 40 for the while, so that the market will gradually grow and we reduce our import. And when we reduce the importer, the strength of the cedi will rise because the pressure to change cedi into other currencies a better form. Or cause a code of conduct, a code of conduct and KPIs.
The way a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials.
KPIs. He should give
key performance
indicators. As I say, every minister be obefani be ordering a work plan bechere. Ma omuko retreat ma obi a be show ne work plan. Adwuma ye dia ma no.
So the Paul Kagame ye were Rwanda.
Yes, a work plan to show how are you going to execute what I've given to you. But on the side of it, I say immediately or monitoring and evaluation committee, so that monitoring and evaluation committee will evaluate your work plan to see say it is within any ministry and now with department in here.
But first 120 days, promises near 26. So far I'm above 4 pay. Number 5 here. Within my first 90 days, a honor scrapping of draconian taxes.
When there's a 1 day business.
E-levy, COVID levy, 10% levy on bet winnings. But any easy sao.
You have to come to Parliament.
No, apart from even Parliament.
Go to cabinet.
The ones now IMF conditionalities. Renegotiating that deal and all of that. But the IMF will tell you, say, e-levy, COVID levy. How do you plug the hole?
There will COVID levy in IMF when we buy before.
No, I'm only saying
maybe
as an example.
E-levy, but not COVID.
E-levy and a betting win.
If you are betting part of the IMF conduct,
it is.
Can you imagine?
It is.
How do you do that?
So you have to plug a hole.
Oh,
no, they will tell you, okay, who you bet winnings? How do you plug the
saying
hole?
That
but the point is,
was it really sustainable to have even used it as a IMF conditionality to make money?
You need to be
that betting way, you know, I don't know. I'm on my figures on how much it is raking in, but I suspect it will be huge. I mean, 10% is a lot.
They should tell us how much is. There's
nothing.
Sure.
So the point is that there are other places. As we go through the transition team, you will see areas where you can plug.
Of course.
You get me? The consolidated fund is Sikabe ne Kum NHI, then NHI here with NHI is Sikana and na ma wo some is capped and given to other you should holistically abide there, you can plug.
Yeah.
You get me? You can plug. So for me, I want him to succeed and I know he can succeed.
Yeah.
He will.
Yes, I know he will succeed. So anything I mean I am a boy, no me boy. Because me Gina a defender no. I don't know how a Fatimatu who so because a mema. Yes, let me for the sake
Mama Francis
for the sake of Ghana and
fans of the how effective you've been running the shift system in communication. And
I'm winning the shift system.
But number 26 this should excite you. Number 26 on 120 days social contracts carry out a shake-up of all loss-making SOEs and realign them to break even and transition into profit making.
Yes.
First 120 days.
Also, we sure what they are doing.
Yes.
SOEs, which one all lose sika, and you're winning na sika. Asem. It to say SEPS or SOE. A bit to say free zones, almost sika for na making. A bit to say GIPC, almost G fees, cocoa board, almost G fees, almost Sanya, almost ECG. Omo crack kesiye pa omo na esesi etimi plug holes no
and they were hinting about still going back to the privatizing the distribution subsector. He's hinted that in the last interview.
They said omo losses in quite 27%, which is abnormal. A chrono be or why 15 20.
I say it's in a POS and some also target.
There be a man the benchmark.
Yeah, that's a benchmark.
And
double numbers.
They have gone up beyond the benchmark loss. Anka by now, it says a punish because if you go beyond the benchmark loss, so winning. If you go beyond the benchmark loss, and it goes against you.
Yeah.
But within the benchmark loss, the tariff caters for it.
Sure.
But beyond that, is a punitive measure.
Yeah, but my point is, our man benchmark
of a double figure,
15%, for example.
That's high.
You don't know, 20, 22 of it is actually.
No, 22 cry, only 27. So these are areas that so special and I back one make energy sector no is so be na ni wo we are rough edube coffee near my cost until so be na ni pa no po be na ni
minister obey you know to go there.
When sometimes when you minister even for no heads no
CEOs no the various agencies.
Yes, and you be an so the no ko. In this case no so be crampo and sheda nya core and this no expertise no.
Yeah.
I will bet me a plug the losses near maybe a cost no. You can take the person there. Yeah. Me believe in monitoring people. Sometimes I want to even make my enemy my friend. He will be very grateful and faithful to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make your friend and not but at this time, His Excellency Muhammad has to look at certain sectors. He should look at off-grid solar.
Yes.
Off-grid solar be take the pressure of the grid. Into they say so Timmy majority. Say obia obesi dan bia real estate obesi dan bia and for solar ka ho.
Ebe duty free solar panels.
Ebe duty free solar panels so. What you say? A very key ebe duty free solar no be etimi di be ato. So when you see a community like maybe coastal estates, obia say so use solar for ni fie.
I think we to start with real estate companies.
It's an American real estate, and then American no more be a dino. You be a in fee so that you don't add it to the cost of the building. Now, add the solar egusu. So as part of the building, no conditions no solar can.
Sure.
Let's just say you be 200 megawatts off the grid. How no I then at as people are building and building, no, you see this solar in this high-rise building, which is a Bank of Ghana. Don't move for solar, so for other things, it may be lift, heavy duty equipment, and you're on the grid. Now other computers, then should be on. Bank of Ghana can afford it.
And for a modern building like that, I'm sure a be eco-friendly. Light, sunlight,
so all these things, so